All right, I finally fucking did it. I finally did it. I got the damn top off, so now all I gotta do is clean out any debris that is in there as a result, and then good to go. After that, this is basically gonna do exactly what you expect it to do. It's gonna basically pull all the nano shit off my plasma, out of my system, out of my body. When I first used the anti-nano bucket, remember the stuff that you saw? It's gonna be the exact same process, but in this case, since I'm gonna have it on my lower half as well as my torso, it's gonna be able to easily pull all that junk out. I'll even be able to dunk my head in this thing. That is very important simply because this nano isn't going to have anywhere to run away to. It's not going to be able to run away. Nope. It was a bitch to do this. I wish I would have just gotten the bucket without a lid, because then I wouldn't have to worry about this. This thing would have already been ready to use, and I probably would have already been used it. But it was a work in progress, and I'm proud to say she's, well, somewhat finished. There's still, I don't have to add this on, but I could. And what I mean by is basically like on the side there, what I could do is add a drainer. Just get a drill, add a drainer unit to the side. But I'm like, you know what? I would rather just leave it solidified, because that thing leaks. It's just too much. And it was already paying just to deal with this. So, I mean, I got an extra bucket to use to help me drain it. So I guess like that's good enough to use. So yeah, the anti-nano barrel is finished. It is finished, ready to use, ready to go. I'm probably gonna have to sand these parts down, but so far there's really no sharp edges there. They're actually quite all right, so I might not even have to shut them down. But yeah, it's finally finished. I'm probably gonna have Zacchaeus' video on the next one. I was meaning to actually have that uploaded sooner, but it's just been a lot of things getting in the way, a lot of things happening. These attacks. I finally was able to get some of the stuff in that lady had mentioned on T-Lock's. That T-Lock was mentioning she is a fellow target individual. She was mentioning like how they would constantly keep lacing her with this stuff. The way I see it to basically see it as an opportunity of getting the people's IDs down, and also, taking samples down for the shit that they laced, because that would be evidence that not only were they in that area when it happened, that shows, because let me tell you something, they have these people stand around when they lace certain things that they expect you to go pick up. No, that's usually how they do it. That just to make certain you're basically picking that object, because they can't. Let me tell you why. They can't leave that shit there if you don't pick it. They can't leave it there. What's gonna happen if someone else picks that shit up who's not aware of what this shit really is? They're gonna be like, well, I just ate this, it made me sick, so let me go ahead and sue the fuck out of the company, of which they would have no choice but to pay out to that person, to prevent their cover from being blown from what they were really doing. Because let them find out that they were intentionally that they intentionally had an operation where they were intentionally trying to poison somebody with that shit. Let people find out about that and see how they're gonna feel about that. I guarantee you, it will not be pretty. It would not be pretty at all. And I'm not joking. Your local markets, your local supermarkets and stuff like that, yes, they are well aware of this stuff is happening. The people who own the place, the people who run the security, the people who work in it, these people are there are a lot of these people who are very well aware of this, but it's not everybody. Don't make that mistake. Don't think that. It is not everybody. They want you to think that it's everybody, but it's not. There are a lot of people out there who are not aware, of this, but there are definitely a lot of people out there who are waking up. Now, here's my current situation on what I'm looking at here. As you all noted, remember, I did mention, and this thing still stands. I'm willing to fight this stuff as long as we're fighting the actual enemy who's responsible for this shit, for all of this mind manipulation, okay? Because that's the only way all of this crap that's happening now is going to stop. But we can't just, you can't, all this infighting, that's an issue, that's a problem. A lot of the infighting is the problem. When you see people basically fighting amongst each other, we can't have that. especially us TIs. We cannot have that. That's why I'm trying my best to, you know, do whatever I can to get TIs to basically be, be on the same page to connect with one another as best I can. Even if I have to basically, look over some of the stuff I've said and done. I'm willing to basically do just that as long as it means that we can end targeting for all TIs out there. That is the number one goal, man. That is the number one goal, because if we don't end this program that's doing this, it's no telling what the hell the future's going to end up like. It definitely feels like we're in the end of times, and maybe we are. Let me tell you something though. I don't believe God is going to let His children just be in, like mind controlled, like this mind enslaved, and and literally just allow them to be victims like that, and then just say, "Oh no, I'm not going to let you in heaven." I don't believe that's going to happen. But I do believe that we are also given a natural resistance from God to basically reject this technology that seeks to, rob us of our minds. As long as we're still, resisting, as long as we're still rejecting this shit that they're trying to push on us, then that shows that we do still have the love of God and grace within us. But I don't believe something like that would just be allowed to just happen, because it just because of the significance of what it does, I just don't see that happening. I mean, you see a lot of corruption going on, but here's the thing: do you think there aren't people out there basically fighting to basically end this shit who are not being seen? They probably are, most likely. I mean, us TIs, we're out in the open, making videos, letting people know exactly how our day went. Trying to share, a little bit of a little bit of information with fellow TIs, so other people who are no different than us don't have to feel so alone in this, because in reality, this is happening to quite a lot of people. Nobody consented to any of this shit, and nobody did. And it's just sad, but it's to a point where we gotta just reject the system. This where it comes the problem. Too many people are just too damn addicted to the system. I'm preparing for whatever I can. Even if I didn't have any funds, I would still just I would look up ways to build my own fucking tools, and I would still go off grid. I'm not finna. I mean, I'll accept the what I can get. I accept this, basically the shortcuts that I can find to basically make it that much easier. But the end goal is still going off grid. Even if we do defeat this shit, I'm still going off grid, man. And it's because, like, it's not so much as a selfish thing. It's just more like I feel like I need to be more in tune with nature. I just feel like that's just a necessity right now. And a lot of us, we've just been like so integrated into this damn system that I think it's really time for us to start rejecting it completely now. Now, I'm not saying reject technology all the way. No. Technology can do good. It isn't technology that's evil. It's the people who manufacture it and use it for evil. It's the people behind that technology that are evil, not the technology itself. Whatever technology has been made and designed, they have a specific purpose. It can't basically just move itself unless it was programmed and given the capabilities of doing shit for itself. There's a big difference to that, and that's where AI comes in. And I'm telling you, AI is the biggest fucking threat to humankind and anything. Because with that shit ain't gonna let nobody survive. That's like getting way too close to the Terminator right there. That's getting way too close. If anything, that practically is the Terminator. And these people are still stupid enough to something. This is why the movie The Grid was really important. And if you haven't seen that movie, you need to watch that, because what that was doing is it showed how it basically had like satellite antennas and shit, and the entire townspeople were being under controlled by a supercomputer, an AI supercomputer, right? And I'm telling you, they were doing some really effed up stuff, man. When it was a guy who basically was going out to basically expose that shit, the townspeople who were like being controlled by it ended up killing him. Dude, a woman killed her own fucking husband because he was, because of the grid. She didn't want to do it, but the grid made her fucking do it. The damn supercomputer made it do it. And people need to realize like that, considering the fact that they have people using these directed energy weapons, all these DEWs, this technology to manipulate and basically cause all this mental control over people like as well as they do. Us TIs, we do reject this stuff, but it is not an easy task. And people are being tortured all around the globe. People are being radiated in their homes when they go outside. People can't even just enjoy their own fucking day without worrying about themselves without even being. Now, it's not even so much as worrying about yourself being gang stalked. It's just being gang stalked. You can't even enjoy a day going outside just to be on your own and just literally just relax. I'm telling you, when I say that these gang stalkers, dude, they're slaves, okay? They're slaves to their own greed, and that's a big issue. That's exactly what I'm getting at. These types of individuals are programmed. Those are the ones who are programmed, who are just stuck into the system. Especially some of these homeless folks. Not all homeless folks are bad though. We do have some good homeless folks out there who were in positions to make a good change, but they took them out before they could do that good change, you know. And a lot of these homeless folks really do know their stuff, but like they mix this stuff with so many other individuals that it gets bad, you know, it gets really bad. And then you got this whole thing to where a lot of these homeless folks were being secretly experimented on, and a lot of people won't tell you that. They won't tell you that the whole reason why they basically tried to make certain people basically homeless was to experiment on them. Oh no, they won't tell you that at all. No. And then it brings me back to this one little thing that happened before. And again, I cannot recall. I believe it had to be New York City or it was Chicago. It was either New York City or Chicago, one or the other. Now, the thing that brings me to this part was that it was a guy, right, that basically made a whole bunch of tiny houses to basically give homeless folks a place to live, somewhere where they can get back up on their feet. Tell me why in the hell did damn near the entire neighborhood, dude, people who already had homes in apartments and shit, gathered up together, conspired against the homeless folks, and had basically got the city to remove those houses, and their only fucking complaint was that, oh, it's an eyesore? Dude, let's be real here. Those people may have been experimented on, and they saw that as a threat. Like these people were going to be back on the. Those same people in the neighborhood inspired against them were probably the same people who fucked up their lives from the beginning. I would not doubt it, but let me tell you something. You think karma doesn't see any of this shit happening? Let me tell you something. Karma is a bitch, and nobody, and I do mean nobody, wants to be on the wrong side of that. So when you see somebody doing some ill shit and like they're just constantly, doing it, you best believe, not even just by the wrath of God, but you best believe there is going to be a really hefty price for them to pay at the end of this shit. You best believe there's going to be one. There's going to be a punishment. There is. And when it happens, there ain't gonna be nowhere where they can run, nowhere where they can hide, nothing they can do. It's gonna be a punishment that's gonna happen. It is. That's gonna happen to both everybody who was gang stalking, as well as the people who hired them, and as well as the people who are controlling all of this shit that's being used. There's simply no way of escaping that. You don't believe me? Look at what's happening with the Kenneka Jenkins case. Damn near every party goer and some of the family members who are related to that woman of that situation who were at that party, how come they're coming up dead within a single month? Let me tell you something what I think though. If I was to give you an analysis of that situation, now I don't know if I brought this up before, but just in case I didn't, I'll bring it up again. What I think is that that entire family was probably, and you see, this is what I'm saying. People get involved with gang stalkers, right? This is proving my point on that because I was basically saying, don't fucking get involved with just any person, man. Don't do that shit because if you get yourself involved with the wrong crowd, right? If you get yourself involved with the wrong freaking crowd, you basically are putting yourself in harm's way by doing that. And what I mean by that let's look at it in a perspective that's not dealing with gang stalkers or any of this shit, right? Hang on, I gotta get myself a sip of distilled water here. Much better. Okay. Let's say you're just a law-abiding citizen just minding your own business. All of a sudden, a bunch of people who are like affiliated with gang members, right? You start hanging around with them, just looking for some people to just hang out with. Little do you know, these are not the types of people who you want to be involved with. Why? These people most likely deal with drugs. They deal with all types of crime. So you don't want to have a person like that. When you are hanging around a person like that, you are putting yourself in harm's way. Okay, that's what you are doing. If you have family and you hanging around people like that, you, sir or madam, are putting your family in harm's way by you being associated with that people. You need to understand that these people who are in these gangs have beef with other gangs, and these gangs tend to be very fucking violent. Very violent. So what's going to happen when someone's, going out to scope out somebody who has a beef with their gang and they wanted to basically take them out, right? What's going to happen when that gang member just happens to be in your home? Do these people who join up with these fucking gang stalkers, do they ever think about that? No, they don't. And they know I'm right. They know I'm right. Because that's a logical conclusion. That makes a lot of fucking sense. And it doesn't even have to be in your home. It could be anywhere, man. It could be anywhere. Anywhere. It's been a known fact that if they can't get to the person who they have a beef with, that they want to take out, then they would naturally go after the next person who just so happens to be close to that individual as a means of getting back at that person. That's been a known common thing. So here's the thing. When people hang around gang stalkers, right? These gang stalkers have been known to lace people with these poisons. These poisons that is used for mind manipulation and mind control. How much you want to believe, how much you want to think, how much you want to bet that some of these people who just started acting all cool without even knowing how sinister these bastards are, right? How much you want to bet that some of these gang stalkers had their hands, laced with that poisonous shit, went ahead and did the whole handshake mechanism that a lot of folks normally do when they do that funny looking handshake thing or whatever. How much you want to bet that they don't do that? I bet you they do. I bet you they do have their hands laced. Because otherwise, why would they be taking out these family members who are coming out saying that some of them are saying that they're being gang stalked. So here's what I believe. They were mainly after Kenneka Jenkins, and they couldn't just get to her, right? So they naturally started going around a family, and those people were laced with this stuff over time without realizing it. And what happened was that they set the shit up while these people were still being mind manipulated. Some of them were, because I'm telling you, this mind manipulation shit is very fucking sinister. And what happened after that, right, is that, they set the shit up to where it basically changed over. Some people are very, from what my experience is, some people, and from the other testimonies from fellow TIs, some people are somewhat conscious of what is happening, but it's like their will and, their will and the choices are being manipulated. It's being manipulated for something they wouldn't normally do, or normally say. So hold on, I'm not even finished explaining yet. So anyway, that's just the common concept, man. When you hang around people like that, and with a concept like that, right? Do you really think these gang stalkers trust one another? They don't. They don't. They may act like they do, but they are more terrified of the people they work for than they are of the people they stalk. So every day, it's not like they're not scared. It's not. That's why they're so dedicated to doing the shit that they're doing. Some of them don't. I believe that some of them probably don't even want to do the shit that they're doing, and there's a majority of them who are comfortable with what they're doing. The people who don't want to do it are probably the people who are just being manipulated in some sort of way. This organization, from what I've witnessed, has been known to basically use people's weaknesses and needs against them in a way that gets their, to their own favoritism. Well, that puts it in a way to where they get what they want, pretty much. By manipulating a person's needs, by manipulating a person's wants and shit like that. And let me tell you something. The only weakness that I have would have been, and I believe that the Most High was looking out for me because if I had, I wouldn't have lasted this long. I would not have lasted this long, man. If I would have settled down and had kids, right? If I would have settled down, had a woman bear my kids, they would have manipulated that shit, and that would just be it. I wouldn't even be here right now. That would just be it, because when you have a family, like you would want to fight tooth and nail to defend that family. That's everybody. That is everyone. But this whole system has been known to send people to basically, give you the wrong idea. And then in the long run, false accusation. That's happened a lot. And I was wondering why that was happening so much. Now that I get a good look at the world, it's no wonder why that shit is happening so much. This world is just, it's not the world that's fucked up. It's just that we just have fucked up people fucking it up, But anyway, I guess that's about all I wanted to basically go over for today. So I'm definitely going to hit that barrel today, get this stuff out of my system. We're good. It's not saying they're not going to try to relace me, but they should know this by now, that it's not easy to basically track me at all unless, I'm carrying a phone. And if they know I'm not bullshitting about this, because I ditched them twice before. You think I can't do it again? Do they really think I can't do that shit again? To give you a good example, you all saw some of the previous videos that I basically posted around the evidence of, with me being surveyed and shit like that. Dude, they have millions upon millions of cameras all around the damn property. Everywhere. Many cameras just hidden. So they know damn well I could easily just ditch them. That's why they're that paranoid to basically put cameras everywhere like that. If you ever plan on ditching gang stalkers, you cannot bring a device with you because they will just track that. You cannot ditch them with this stuff in your system because they can track that. If you have a chip implanted into your body, it's not an easy process to just ditch them. It's just not. It's not. I still don't even know if I'm implanted. I still don't know. But I know that I'm not the only TI who basically mentioned something about something on the left side of the upper part of the skull, though. But man, I'm afraid to look at some parts of these evidence to where it's gonna, because I get the feeling it really is gonna lead me all the way down to my childhood. I'm just afraid to see that, man, because when you see something like that, that makes that just telling you that your whole fucking life was a lie. It was just a fucking lie. It was a sham. Everybody, you question everybody who was around you and wonder, did they know about this shit was happening? Did they know this was happening? And in most cases, most people don't know that shit's happening. Not even the family would know. They'll freaking hit you with that shit. The family member would not notice. And they're out and out. You see how TIs should know this, because you see how hard, how long, and how difficult it is for us to even track these bastards, for us to make these connections. You see how long this shit took. But you know something? I believe that the Most High is going to use this system against the enemy that seeks to basically enslave us all with it. I believe that's what's going to happen. This technology that they basically seek to have everybody just completely laced on, I don't believe everybody's going to be microchipped. I don't believe that shit's going to happen. I don't believe it at all. Not even the slightest. They're going to fight tooth and nail to get it to happen, but just know. It's going to get it to a point where people are going to be completely fed up, if they're not already, with this bullshit. And they're going to reject every single bit of it. Now then, you know something? I guess it was just like, how many minutes is this video on? Sorry about that. That's my couch. I got a lot of cleaning up to do. A lot of cleaning up. And I'm sure I'm not the only TI who has to do that either. They usually use these weapons to try to make you somewhat lazy. But I don't let that stop me. Sometimes I actually do get up to try to clean up and stuff like that. It's not an easy thing, but it's just the fact that you would put in effort. That's all that matters. But anyway, I'm going to leave this video off here. But the Zacchaeus video, I'm going to have to pre-record over that. I'm hoping I'll be able to download it. Hopefully I can. If I do, I'll just attach it to this video, and I'll leave a recording of the stuff that he had written in the description. And the stuff is, you know, something, what I could do actually. What I could do, and I think I'll do this instead, because I am going to still download that video. I have to. That's very important. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the link to that particular video in the description. Again, I warn you, this video may piss some people off, but at the same time, has the truth ever not been said and basically have not pissed people off? So just keep that in mind. And that's for anything, dude. That's for any type of truth. So understand that some people may be pissed off at what they're going to hear. But at the same time, it helps clarify and open more doors of understanding as to what's going on. And that's what's important. Of course, some people are going to be mad. Of course, some people are going to be pissed off. But we have to be willing to basically seek out the truth if we ever want to come to the conclusion to really understand this world that we're living in. That's what's mostly important, you know? That's what's mostly important. So, again, the link will be in the description. If people can't find it there, I'll leave it in the comments. But until then, take care, stay safe, stay strong, everybody.